Welcome to Houston Newsmakers Extra. We've been talking with Congressman Kevin Brady. You talked about in our program about the medical bills, surprise medical bills, and drug prices. Talk about some details on that.
Yeah, so here's where I think Republicans, Democrats can work together. One, you want to end surprise medical bills when you go to the emergency room. Look, no one should be taken advantage of in that situation, and no one's checking their insurance. You know, when you're rushing your child or your loved one to the ER, that needs to end. Secondly, you know, when you schedule like a procedure, a surgery, a bicep I had operate on this August, you want to make sure you know in advance what that honest bill will be. You want to know that there won't be any surprises when you come back. But unfortunately, oftentimes you get bills from multiple directions, physicians who you didn't know were part of it, or facility fees. It can add up into the tens of thousands.
Isn't there progress
we want to end it. There is. So Texas, to their credit, has tackled this for 3 different sessions in a row, and I think have done a good job on it. But nationally, but that's only for state insurance plans. Most of us get our health care work, so it needs to be done at the federal level. So we're trying to take solutions like Texas has, apply it at the federal level, and that just means peace of mind. You don't have to worry about an extra bill of a couple thousand you didn't plan for.
You were talking during the program about the impeachment process getting in the way of a lot of different things. We've been in these silos for so long, not we, but you know, you in Congress, been in these individual silos. You see things so differently from so different directions. With impeachment, that seems that that's going to make things worse.
It makes a toxic environment more toxic. So what you have to do, Cambrell, is work harder to kind of shield some good work that's being done. We're trying to do that on the Mexico-Canada agreement, trying to shield the surprise medical bill discussion. Drug pricing, we started, I think, in a very bipartisan way. It's gone a different direction right now in the House, but I'm with Speaker Pelosi's drug plan, very partisan in my view. Nonetheless, I'm hopeful that we can still come together to lower the out-of-pocket costs on drugs. We want to pull back the curtain on drug pricing because, you know, these middle-of-the-year price spikes, things like insulin that go up tenfold overnight, you can't explain that. It's not acceptable. So I do think this is an area, if we can shield it from the impeachment stuff, I'm really hopeful we can get it done.
So you said that you already looked at transcripts and you already believe this president didn't do anything wrong. How many more are like you, where it's like, if you already believe that now, nothing you hear in these hearings that are going to come up are going to change your mind on this?
Well, so I've gone through those. Most of these people testifying in secret weren't on the call, weren't directly involved. Some of them have their personal views of it, but at the end of the day, nothing on that call is impeachable or close to it.
So it may get to the point where whatever happened may not have been the best thing that you would want the president to do and say, to kind of dangle something. I mean, this is what is being talked about, but it doesn't rise to the level of impeachment, because once upon a time I said, well, it was no quid pro quo, but now it's like, okay, maybe there was quid pro quo. You're not saying that, but other people are. It's being stirred around so that we can kind of not pay attention to the fact that what the Democrats are saying is that this president was dangling this so that he could get dirt on Biden's son, and that's to help him in the political process.
And I know that narrative, I disagree with it, but here's the point. Even during the Clinton impeachment, where the president lied under oath, and our belief was, if the president doesn't have to tell the truth under oath, which American does, we thought we were very solid ground. But the American public said, you know, impeachment and removal from office is too extreme.
Right.
You know, so
you think you learned from that?
Will find, yes, I think Democrats will find exactly the same thing.
So this president has not gone to sit down to do a deposition, and a lot of Republicans are refusing subpoenas. Once upon a time, Republican Party was law and order. Now everybody's refusing subpoenas, which is what law says we should do. I can't refuse a subpoena. Why should somebody else? Would you refuse a subpoena?
A congressional,
that bothers me, by the way.
A congressional subpoena that has been voted on by both parties would be very hard, I think, to ignore. When you have a partisan investigation where you're being dragged into a secret meeting, you know, where you frankly have no due process rights, you and I would fight that as well. I think most Americans would.
So you, as a member of Congress, you're okay with somebody refusing a subpoena issued by a committee of your Congress?
Well, unfortunately, that happened during the Obama administration as well, on a number of different topics. And I saw things during that administration, frankly, that were appalling to me. They didn't rise to the level of impeachment. And so, yeah, I think if this were done right, just like in the Clinton administration.
Do you think it could be done right, though, considering the way both sides are entrenched?
Yeah,
they would,
yes,
how?
you could.
Okay.
So follow the Clinton model. So the impeachment inquiry was done with a full and open vote of both parties. The minority was given, Democrats were given the rights to call their own witnesses, to challenge the witnesses. The president and his attorneys could be there in every meeting, every deposition, question and call their own. There really was a due process approach, and it was open. Mm-hmm. I think if Democrats actually had decided early on to take that approach, frankly, I think the American public would feel like this is fair.
The horse is out of the barn now, as far as that's
I don't
concerned?
know how you go back. I think the well's been poisoned.
Well, I know that over in the Senate, Senator Graham has said, he's the chair of the Judiciary Committee. He says, I'm not even going to look at the transcript, which kind of says, well, this process is kind of really poisoned if the people who are going to be sitting as jurors aren't even going to look at the...
Yeah, so I think they'll wait till it comes over to the Senate before they begin their work.
You're typically an optimistic guy. You're like me. We're an eternal optimist.
Yeah.
How optimistic are you about us being able to get stuff done as a country going forward after this?
I think our country is much better and much stronger than what you see, frankly, on the nightly news and on social media. I look at our region, and Americans are optimistic by nature. They are their brother's keeper. They reach out all the time to help each other. I think what we're doing in our communities and states is pretty remarkable. I think Washington is disconnected from a pretty remarkable country, in my view. And I think that's what bothers me maybe the most, Cambrell, is how many folks back home here where I live are just discouraged and disheartened by what they see, you know what I mean, in the news each day. And so, yeah, I think we're frankly a good country where we work together a lot. In our region, I think, proves it.
Thank you, Congressman. Always appreciate it.
Thank you, Cambrell.
Still waiting for that barbecue
Yes,
treat.
sir. I can see you're staying on message on there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for watching this Newsmakers Extra.